Regardless of whether you have employees or not, you have to master this one skill if you want to see your business grow to its maximum potential. Check this out. That's right, it's time for some motivation in a kitchen conversation. Here we go. Quickly before we get going, a couple of things that'll help you out. I'm Joey and I am on a crusade to help small business owners create huge success. My personal mission statement is your success is my business. I put out a new video every Monday morning bright and early for you, and every second and fourth Wednesday of the month for stuff that I know will really help you out. So why not take a second and click that subscribe button, and don't forget to ding that notification bell so you never miss a video. And I'm gonna put show notes and a bunch of other stuff I know will help you out, a bunch of links to a bunch of free productivity products that will really help you succeed. That's going to be in the description below the video here. It is incredibly important that you master one skill to explode your business, to have any hope for having a successful business, to be a successful salesperson or team leader. You really need to master this one skill, and this one skill is leadership. If you're like most small business owners, you had a dream, you had a passion, and you had the skills and know-how to deliver a product or service. But as your business grows, you either have employees now or you're going to have employees, and your ability to lead people with excellence is key to success. And in this video, I have 5 tips for you that I know from personal experience will help you be a great leader. And be sure to hang around with me until the end of the video. I have a bonus section that you sure don't want to miss. Throughout my career, I've owned small businesses. I have been recruited into businesses to help departments and businesses grow. And when I first started all this, boy, oh boy, I had great skills and I had little leadership ability. And I went through and learned all of this stuff the hard way. And that is what I don't want you to have to do. So let's talk about these 5 tips. And here's the first one. Take the time to create time dedicated. I'm going to suggest do it 30 minutes a day. You can carve out 30 minutes of your day. I suggest in the evening, when it's afternoon, you're winding down. Here's the tip. Read a book. This is the current one that I'm reading, The Advantage. It is a great book about company culture, but start reading a book every month, nonfiction, business related. You will grow immensely. Let me add this. I never liked to read, and I had to sometimes force myself to read. I often get through some books and get way toward the end and find myself kind of fizzling out. So here's an additional little tip here that'll help you get through books if you personally have challenges forcing yourself to read. Subscribe to a service like Audible. There's others out there like that where you can subscribe to these books and you can read through with it. Get a highlighter, highlight stuff as you go through that means a lot to you. I found that helps retain the information. But start a reading program to become a great leader. Take the advice, take the lessons that have been learned by others, which is what I've done and implemented in my life and my leadership, and it's brought me to a whole new level of leadership. And now, years down the road, I'm still taking these books and learning every day. Become a lifelong learner through reading. Okay, tip number 2 here, and this might force you into uncomfortable territory, but that's how leaders grow, because we force ourselves to learn. So tip number 2 is you personally start writing a blog. And I don't mean that it's going to be something that you're trying to push out to the World Wide Web and have everybody and his brother read. Now, maybe that you do that to hold yourself accountable with stuff. but write a blog. Try to figure some time frame. Look, I committed to, I'm going to do a blog a day, and I sent it out to the team I led. And you talk about forcing you to think creatively, to try to figure out where you're going to get this information from. It really makes you grow in leadership. Even if you don't have anybody to lead, write a daily, just call it a journal if it makes you feel better. Journal or blog at least once a week. Get the juices flowing and force yourself to think, I'm communicating information that's valuable to somebody else. This will definitely raise your leadership skills. Write a blog. All right, tip number 3. This is one of my favorite ones, believe it or not, and that is to grow your leadership skills. Listen to podcasts. I'm going to drop a link down in the description below this for my favorite podcast app, and I love this thing. Now, yes, it's not free. I believe it cost me $3.99, but it has been the best $3.99 I've ever paid. And in this podcast app, here's the advantages of it. Number one, you can speed up the playback speed of the podcast. And I have mine, I go from 1.1 to 1.2 times the speed, so it's a little bit faster. Here's the really cool part. Is you can cut out the silence between when people talk. There's natural silence in our speech patterns, and the podcast app that I use cuts that silence out. And it even tracks how much faster you listen to this stuff because of cutting all the silence out. So that's really cool. And it doesn't sound like somebody's like talking super fast. It just is consistent, and it helps you get through them faster. The other thing I love about this app is it has a great search feature. You can search your industry, niche that you're in, your specific business model itself, and there'll be dozens and dozens and sometimes hundreds of podcast opportunities comes back. Most, if not all, I've never had to pay for a podcast. I listen to 25 podcasts. It's a great way to learn and grow your leadership when you're traveling, when you're mowing the grass, if that's your thing, whatever you have that is where you're not focused specifically on doing something. Plug those earbuds in and listen to podcast and grow that leadership skill. Tip number 4 to grow your leadership competencies is this. You gotta attend some leadership events. I personally, Dave Ramsey's Entree Leadership, it's just fantastic. LeaderCast is another one. The Global Leadership Summit is another one. John Maxwell does a yearly Live to Lead. These are great. And the cool thing about them is I bet you can find some local place. Now, maybe you have to drive 40 or 50 miles, but it's well worth it if that's the place, for some place that is simulcasting these events. Find these events. They provide notebooks, tons of, I've been doing these things for a decade, and I have almost every one of my little notebooks where I've got all these notes that I often refer back to. Attend leadership. You grow yourself and your leadership competencies by being able to hear and see these titans of business sharing how they got to where they are. Look these up. I'm going to put the link in the description box below for the ones I mentioned here. But make this part of your annual leadership competencies growth process. They're just gold mines. Leadership competency number 5 that you need to work on, and that is have the mentality to become a servant leader. Now, that, I bet if you talk to 10 people, they're going to give you 10 examples of what that is. So here's my personal view on it that has really helped me win in every place that I've ever led people. And that is this: you have to view your team members, the people that you lead, as your customers. Just like you want your team and yourself to give legendary customer experience to your paying customers, you as the leader have to look at the people that you lead as your customers, and you have to give them a great customer experience. You have to make sure that they're served well, that they have all their friction removed from anything that is that they're doing at work. You have to help them, you have to check on them, you have to recognize them. I was talking just today to somebody who says, I don't feel appreciated, I don't feel of any value to this company, I don't feel that they care whether I come or go. And I know for a fact that this person is a rock star. Any business would want this person on their team, and at their current employment, they're just another number. They're just an analytical number in somebody's spreadsheet. Do not be that type of leader. Go around, one of my things is I go around and give fist bumps to everybody first thing in the morning, because I want to check on them. I want to make sure that they understand that somebody cares about them. I always ask, is there anything that I can do to help you? Be a servant leader. Your company's morale will grow, their respect for you will grow, and they will follow you into battle because they know that you lead the way in being a great leader. Thanks for sticking with me, and I promised you a bonus section, so here is the bonus section. While you are watching this, does somebody pop in your head and you think, oh my goodness, I really need to share this with so-and-so? Well, take a second. Here's what the share button looks like right over here. Right below the video, you can press that share button and it gives you tons of options. Facebook Messenger, email, text message, that you can share this video with somebody else. And I hope that you would take the time to do that. Thank you so much. If you're going to lead to the maximum, if you're going to take your company to the next level, if you're going to grow leaders, you need to know what your strengths are and how you're wired. And to do that, you need to go take the Strength Finders test. I have a link in the description box below the video here. There's two different versions of this test. There's a basic version and a super duper version. Both of them are incredible. Both of these have a cost. I'm not going to tell you that they don't. And look, I don't make any money from this, but I'm going to tell you, even the basic version gives you 5 personality traits of how you're wired and what your strengths are, and you need to know these. There's an expanded version, and that costs substantially more. It's still only 2 figures in the cost. It's not 3-figure costs for this, but it gives you 84 different here's where you're wired in order of your wiring about where your strengths are. It is imperative that you know where your strengths are, so you know here's why I cruise through this activity, because it's how you're wired, but it helps you understand where you need to find employees and other team members that you can plug in around you that helps you in the areas that you're weak in. You talk about getting maximum effort out of your team members and out of your company, and the greatest product and services and customer experience to the clients that you serve. It should be a requirement for every company to have all their employees done like this before you ever hire them. So Strength Finders is the bonus tip that you really need to maximize out your leadership competencies. Take a second and in the comment section down below, let me know which one of these tips is the #1 tip that you feel that you need to work on, and maybe why. Let's get the Professional Small Business Owners Network commenting down below so we can help each other out. What you attend for leadership stuff? What's one of the best books you're reading right now for leadership training? What is a podcast that just overwhelms you with leadership growth? So in the comment section down below, let's talk about this stuff. If you found value in this today, it sure would mean a lot to me if you would click that like button just down below the video. Additionally, I'm going to leave a link right here for my website. If there's any way I could help you out, if you have a question, want to have a conversation, need help with your business, scroll down to the bottom of the site. There's a contact me if you're really serious about needing some help with your business. Just to the right of that, there is a get acquainted little box. Click that survey button, fill out some questions. Everything that I need will be in that. It's really short. There's not much, just 10 questions, but it'll help me out a lot. Figure out how we can help you grow your business. So I look forward to hearing from you there. Thanks for hanging out with me. It is always a pleasure to talk to you. Hey, I posted a video right here that I think will help you out, so be sure to get that one in check too. Thanks for watching that. Let's think creatively, let's remove the friction, and let's become uniquely better and explode our business. That's what I'm going to do. Have a great one, and until next time, I'll see you.